All right, so you ready to dive deep into this XLAB stiff tongue thing?
Always ready to dive into some science.
You sent us a ton of stuff about them. Articles, web content, you name it. Looks fascinating, but
Yeah, it's a lot.
yeah, a lot. And you're looking for, like, the highlights, right?
Definitely. The need-to-know stuff.
The need to know without having to,
Become a German science education expert.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see why you're interested, though. They're doing some really interesting stuff over there.
Yeah.
Especially if you care about the future of science and how...
When we're inspiring the next generation, right?
Exactly. And it's not just about textbooks and memorization. It's all about hands-on research, connecting with, like, leading experts.
Yeah, nurturing that love of discovery.
Exactly.
It's like they're saying science isn't just about, beakers and equations.
It's about curiosity and exploration.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, Germany, they have, like, a really impressive history when it comes to STEM.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you think about engineering, physics, medical breakthrough.
The whole shebang.
Exactly. XLAB is building on that foundation, which is
already pretty strong. But how did XLA itself start? Like, give us the backstory.
Okay, so picture this. It's the year 2000, and this woman, Professor Eva-Maria Neher, she has this vision.
Okay.
And this woman, she's a powerhouse in science education, right? And she launches XLA.
Wow.
Fast forward a bit, and it's clear she was onto something. They outgrew their space super fast, and now they're opening this whole new center.
Really?
Dedicated to even bigger, more ambitious science education stuff.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, and get this, just this year, she wins the Alexander von Humboldt Medal.
Oh, wow.
And that's just one of many, believe me. She is a giant in this world.
That's amazing, building a legacy like that. But it wasn't just her, right? You mentioned a new center. That takes some serious.
Oh, absolutely. Funding? Yeah, getting the money for that was no easy task. But what's interesting? They got funding from both public and private sources, which tells you something. People believe in what they're doing.
For sure. It's one thing to say you support science education, but it's another to actually...
Put your money where your mouth is.
Exactly. So what's so special about this new building? Like, paint us a picture.
Okay, so imagine state-of-the-art labs, collaborative workspaces, the works. But get this, even the construction itself is fascinating. Yeah, they're using this like special colored plaster. And it's not just for looks. It helps regulate the building's temperature.
Oh, wow.
They're big on sustainability too. Solar panels everywhere.
So they're not just building a science center, they're building a smart and sustainable one too.
That's right.
That's really impressive.
And honestly, it's more than just, bricks and mortar.
Yeah.
It's about creating a space for international collaboration, a place where
the best and the brightest can come together.
Yes. Young and, established scientists all pushing the boundaries.
It's like they're building a hub, a real hub for scientific exchange.
Exactly.
But let's talk about how they get people excited about science. One of the things that stood out was the science festival they do every year.
Yeah.
And this isn't just some small local thing. They've been running it for 20 years.
Can you believe that? 20 years of getting people excited about science. It's remarkable.
It really is. It shows real dedication to making science, like you said, accessible and exciting for everyone, not just
the academics, everyone.
And they've had some seriously big names at these festivals.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking 14 Nobel laureates over the years.
14. Now that tells you something.
That's incredible. Okay, so we've established this festival is a big deal, but what kind of talks are we talking about? Give us some highlights.
Okay, so in 2013, they had Professor Jürgen Tautz. Now, he's a bee expert, right? And he gives this presentation called, get this, The Evolutionary Success Recipes of the Honeybee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They've covered some really cool stuff over the years.
Bees are so important. And they're definitely having a moment, right?
They are.
But you also mentioned something about a talk on, like, the oldest stars in the universe.
Oh, yeah. That was Dr. Anna Friebel. Back in 2009.
Wow.
It was a fascinating look at, the early universe.
That sounds amazing. It really makes you wonder, like, what else is out there?
It does.
Yeah.
And that sense of wonder, that's what XLAB is so good at.
Yeah.
They want to make everyone feel that.
I love that.
They even have this book series called Out of the Ivory Towers of Science. And it's all about making these complex scientific topics
More accessible.
Exactly.
Wait, are these the books that are free to download?
You got it. They're all about breaking down barriers, making sure everyone can access knowledge.
That's fantastic. It's amazing that they're making all of this so accessible.
Yeah.
Like, really speaks to their dedication to, bringing science to everybody, not just the academics and the researchers and all that, but
yeah, they want everyone to be a part of it.
and it's not just about, lectures and books either. One of the things that really stood out was this whole hands-on learning approach that they have going on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
With these international science camps.
Yeah, the camps are amazing.
Bringing students from all over the world to Göttingen.
To Göttingen, can you imagine?
These camps, they're like more than just field trips.
Oh, yeah, we're not talking about just, collecting leaves and looking at bugs.
Right.
These young people are doing real research.
Wow.
Alongside some of the top scientists in their fields.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's an amazing way to, really nurture that next generation of STEM leaders.
And not just leaders from Germany, right?
Yeah,
the fact that they're attracting students internationally.
it speaks volumes
It really does.
about the quality of the program.
What kind of research are they doing at these camps?
Oh, it's all over the map, really. I
Yep.
mean, you name it, they're probably doing it.
Wow.
Molecular biology, robotics, environmental science,
Yeah.
you name it.
So it's really running the gamut.
Absolutely.
And I imagine the impact of something like that, it's not just this 2 weeks, right?
No. It goes way beyond that.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. These kids are getting exposed to cutting-edge research.
Right.
They're making connections with mentors.
They're forming a relationship.
And peers who share their passion. It's huge.
It's huge, yeah.
And you know what? Many of them, they go on to have these incredible careers in STEM.
That's amazing.
And they often credit XLAB with, sparking that passion.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's really something.
Okay, I have to say, I'm a little jealous of these kids.
I hear you.
It sounds like an incredible experience.
It is.
And speaking of incredible experiences, I want to loop back to something we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
This ambitious expansion project.
Right.
This new center.
Oh, it's going to be incredible.
It really sounds like they're pulling out all the stops to make this a, world-class facility.
World class, for sure.
Yeah.
And, it all ties back to that commitment to fostering this, global community of scientific thinkers, right?
Yeah.
Having this dedicated space where people can come together from all over the world to collaborate on science.
Right.
It's essential.
It really is. It's like they're building more than just a building. It's
an ecosystem.
an ecosystem, yeah.
For scientific exchange, for advancement.
You mentioned the colored plaster and the solar panels earlier.
Right.
What other cool features does this new center have?
Well, they really designed it to be like a living lab.
Oh, wow.
Sustainable building materials, energy-efficient technologies. They thought of everything.
Amazing.
It's a fantastic way to, demonstrate those practices in action.
Right, yeah.
And hopefully inspire that next generation of, environmentally conscious scientists and engineers.
For sure. Leading by example.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
It sends a powerful message.
It really does. But let's get back to the Science Festival for a moment.
Okay, yeah.
We were talking about some of the past speakers.
Right.
Did we ever mention who's on the roster for this year's event?
We briefly touched on Professor Reinhard Genzel,
Oh, right.
the 2020 Nobel laureate in physics,
Wow.
and his talk on black holes, which is
Come on, that's amazing.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But there are a bunch of other great speakers, too.
Oh, I bet.
Professor Thomas C. Mettenleiter, he's a leading virologist.
Okay.
He gave this fascinating presentation that was described as, and this is a quote, a glimpse into a nanocosmos.
Now, that's a title that makes you want to, grab a front row seat.
I know, right? It's like, sign me up.
Right.
It sounds incredible.
It sounds like they really prioritize showcasing, the latest, most cutting-edge research.
Absolutely.
But also making it accessible, right?
Exactly.
To a wider audience.
That's the key.
Yeah.
It's not just for the scientists.
Right.
It's for everyone.
What other talks stood out to you? It's so cool how they managed to make it,
Yeah.
bring it to everyone, Not dumb it down.
Not at all.
But
Make it so
rigorous, but accessible,
engaging. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of, exploring the unseen world,
Okay.
one of the talks that caught my eye, Professor Holger Kraft,
Oh, yeah.
talking about biodiversity
Super important.
and how
Huge topic.
many species are still out there that we
Don't even know about.
don't even know.
It's mind-blowing.
It really is. It's like,
We've barely scratched the surface.
boy, it makes you realize how much we still have to discover
About our own planet, right?
about our own planet. And it makes you think about, the importance of protecting what we do have, especially...
Especially with climate change and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's more important now than ever.
Yeah, it's a little sobering,
It is.
but it also makes you realize,
Yeah.
how vital all of this is, you know?
Absolutely. The exploration, the research.
And speaking of exploration, we can't forget Professor Angelica Brandt.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Talking about deep-sea creatures.
Deep-sea creatures.
In the Aleutian Trench.
Talk about pushing boundaries.
Seriously. It's like...
It's another world down there.
It's like going to another planet, right?
Right. And the creatures they find, they're just unbelievable.
They're adapted to this environment.
So different from ours.
That's so intense, and they're just thriving.
Thriving.
It's incredible. It really gives you like a whole new perspective on
life, on the diversity of life.
On the diversity of life on Earth.
It's awe-inspiring, really.
But it's not just about the wow factor.
Right.
Like, these creatures...
There's a bigger picture here.
They teach us so much.
They're a window into these ecosystems.
How they're connected.
How they're being impacted by, things like climate change.
And that all ties back to, like, the bigger picture.
Exactly.
Which is something XLA is so good at, right?
They're masters at it.
Connecting those dots, showing us how this stuff, these discoveries,
yeah,
they seem so far away sometimes.
Like they don't affect our daily lives.
But they're actually so relevant.
They're incredibly relevant.
To our lives and to the planet.
Absolutely.
It's really cool how they do that.
And they do it in a way that, it sparks your curiosity. Instead of making you feel overwhelmed by, like,
right. Yeah.
all the science, all the complexity.
Exactly. You don't feel intimidated.
Yeah. It's like, tell me more.
It's like, tell me more. This is fascinating.
That's the feeling they evoke, for sure.
And, it all comes back to Professor Eva-Maria Neher.
Her vision.
Her vision for XLA.
It's really inspiring.
And you share some stuff about her work with the Society of German Natural Scientists and Physicians.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing in itself.
Absolutely.
And it got us thinking.
Yeah.
Who else is out there?
Good question.
Like, what other organizations, what other people are making these? Like,
making a difference in science education.
Yeah. In Germany and around the world.
Oh, I'm sure there are tons.
There's a whole
network of people.
A whole ecosystem of people who are passionate about this.
Who are dedicated to, making sure that the next generation is excited about science.
That's a perfect place to end, actually.
It is, isn't it?
Because it's inspiring.
It really is.
It's inspiring to know that there are so many people out there who care about this, who are doing the work.
Absolutely.
To make science accessible and exciting and engaging for everyone.
To give you hope for the future.
It really does. And a huge thank you to you, dear listener, for even bringing XLA Stiftung to our attention.
Yeah, thank you.
Because we got to dive deep into this amazing organization.
We scratched the surface, really.
And we learned so much, and we hope you did too.
Definitely.
And we encourage you to, keep digging.
Yeah.
Keep exploring XLA. Keep exploring.
The world of science education.
The world of science education, because it's out there and it's exciting.
It's more important now than ever.
Absolutely.